welcome to the TeenTechSF Global Youth Summit at Microsoft. TeenTechSF Global, the cloud is our clubhouse, and our goal, one of our main goals, is to bring the spirit of Silicon Valley to the world and the world to Silicon Valley. In the era before fake news and Russia's weaponization of social media to influence the United States presidential elections, Nicole Wong accepted President Obama's invitation to become his Deputy Chief Technology Officer. So I have a few questions, and then once again, we're going to turn to the audience and the live stream if there are any questions from that. What do you think about net neutrality? What can we do to ensure that our internet freedoms are not being infringed on?
20 years ago, Congress was looking at the internet and saying, hey, isn't that a lot like television and radio, which we regulate? It's the reason you don't get to hear profanity when you listen to the radio or watch TV. Shouldn't we regulate in the same way? And what the Supreme Court decided is, actually, no. The internet's completely different from radio and television because everyone can access it. And it's supposed to be a democratic, as in small d, democratic platform for everybody to get onto it. And therefore, it deserves the highest level of First Amendment protection, that everyone should have a voice to speak. Let me give you the concept on net neutrality, which is that the notion is that on the internet, the bits should flow, right? And your ISP or your telecom broadband carrier shouldn't be able to speed up certain content or apps, shouldn't be able to slow it down, shouldn't be able to block what you're trying to get to on the internet. In the absence of net neutrality, you could have Verizon, AT&T, Comcast, whoever your provider is, say, hey, I'm going to cut a deal with this app, but not that one. And that's going to preference your ability to get to one set of content versus another. It means that that provider gets to decide what's accessible to you instead of you getting to decide. And that's actually kind of contrary to the way the internet was supposed to work. The internet is like the network of networks, right? It's supposed to be open, it's supposed to be decentralized, and the control exists at the endpoints, which is a fancy technical way of saying you. You, the user, are the one that's supposed to choose what do you want to see on the internet, what apps do you want to use. President Obama's administration put in place an order that would establish net neutrality, that would require broadband providers to treat all bits equally. Commissioner Pai from the Federal Communications Commission is going to post an order that replaces the net neutrality order to allow providers to discriminate against certain bits or apps or content that goes over its network. How can you help? There is a day of protest scheduled for the 12th. And the actual vote is on the 14th. I will tell you that most people think that that vote is going to be successful. There are 3 Republican commissioners and 2 Democratic commissioners, and so the likelihood is that the order will pass and that this will move on to the courts. But there's a whole campaign at a website called, I think it's battleforthenet.com, where you can find information to contact your congressperson, where you can get involved in the protest that's scheduled for the 12th. Make your voice heard, because this is actually about you. The whole point of net neutrality is that you, as new entrants to bring your apps onto the internet, will be just as equally accessible as a Google or a Facebook or a Microsoft or an Amazon. And so this is actually your future and the tech that you're going to build at stake, and you want to have a voice in that. And so this is your democratic moment to participate.
Continuing on kind of timely political issues, what would you recommend to bring truth and unity to the internet? And how would you try and create a safe space where everyone is entitled to our opinions but not our own facts?
What if we built a platform that was not about personalization and letting you create your own filter bubble? What if we didn't build a platform that really prized engagement that was driven by outrageous content? What if we were actually building to have platforms that support finding accurate information? What if we built platforms that were actually about bringing people together for conversations, even if we may not agree? And what would those look like? And I think that that's the real challenge for your generation, right? Is to build a better platform for the type of society we want to live in. I do think we need to think about how we address that. I think part of it may be in how you build the next version of our communication platforms.
So thanks again for your time.
Thank
Let's
you.
go for a round of applause.